You ain't wanted here, pal. Piss off!
Come on, guys, get him!
You ain't wanted here, pal. Piss off!
I heard you put an end to the smugglers' trafficking, Mr. Mancer. I am disappointed.
Why's that?
My concern? Oh no, I simply admired the man. Not for the income he scraped from his beggar army, but rather for the pressure he managed to put on the merchants without lifting a finger. With that said, anything having to do with crime is my concern. Maybe you will remember the next time before you stick your fingers in my pies. Now tell me, what do you want?
I'm looking for a prostitute named Sarah.
And you wouldn't be the only one. She was quite the popular menu item for the boys at the barracks, until she disappeared, like a puff of once lucrative smoke. You catch wind of her, you'll let me know. I'd be much obliged. Wish I could give you a bearing, but the truth of the matter is, the doll simply disappeared, along with a potential profit I'm not happy to have seen go with her, but would pay to see returned, with or without some added bruising as a lesson in running off.
What do you think of our army?
You're a hard one to peg, rogue. Why would you care what I think? But sure, why not? Just a little friendly conversation. Abundance and its generals are like a once vibrant tree that has long since withered away. Its leaves dried up, but still clinging to the branches of memories stretching from the trunk of its faded but glorious past. Strangled by its own ancient and outmoded bureaucracy, all the while Aurora's strength blossoms from the aggressive dynamics of its youth. But I'm sure it will all work itself out in time. If not on the battlefield, then undoubtedly in offices like these, and of our dear Colonel Victor.
What's the deal with the mutant pen?
Well, well. Aren't we just the little inquisitive student today? So eager to learn, so full of questions. Even for mutants, it's unbearably inhuman. Piled into a pen in conditions that I guarantee will, in time, foster revolt. Despite what some profess, they're far from mindless. And thought fueled with rage is a dangerous, dangerous little thing.
I gotta go.
Then go.
Hello, Mancer.
Hello. I talked to Scott's ex-wife.
So, what did she say?
It's an awful story. Her son. Anyway, their son was struck by mutation. They took him away from them, of course, but it made Scott go crazy, and he was convinced that he could find a remedy. He asked for your father's help, so they left together, and were gone for a long time. Their exploration apparently didn't lead to anything concrete for the boy, and Scott descended into madness. And then one day, Mark left. His ex thinks that it was to bring back something useful for his research, and he never came back.
Shit. So my father's disappearance is related to that poor kid? It's really awful what they must have gone through. That explains a lot about why he's so crazy. and also why he behaves as if we were his kids. Thank you, Zach. That doesn't answer all of my questions, far from it, but I have a better grasp of what happened. My father disappeared by helping his best friend, who was going through a rough patch and wanted to heal his child. It's a sad but beautiful story, isn't it? I'm gonna think about all this. Thank you again.
You're not like other girls, are you?
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Or are you being a wise ass?
You took on a tough job. Driving places you don't know, taking soldiers on missions, scouting the front lines.
It's easy to do anything when you love what you do. I love not being stuck under a roof. Getting out there, you know? You call it tough, I call it lucky.
Exactly why I said you're different. Average person, girl or guy, lives on the safe side. They may not love the city, but they know it. So, they stay there.
Life's what you make of it, and I want to make it an adventure. So if you're looking for some dangerous escapades, I know a girl.
Think I may just take her up on that. Gotta find that spy. Maybe I should ask around.
Hi. Lieutenant, how can I help you?
How much do you know about what's going on in the barracks?
Not much, and not really interested. I'm just a quartermaster, here to grease your wheels when they get rusty, not eavesdrop or gossip. Why are you asking? What are you looking to know?
What do you know about Dave Ward?
Quiet, brooding, asshole type. Not a talker, which is fine by me because he's not one I want to talk to.
What about Jeffrey?
I don't want to talk shit about anyone, not my style. But that boy's only barely sharper than a spoon.
What have you heard about my captain?
If you're looking for me to dish dirt, Lieutenant, you're barking up the wrong tree. She may be a woman, but this army could use more officers like her. She'd put herself in front of a bullet for her men. The army's her church. It's sacred to her. And she will and has come to blows with anyone or anything that threatens to tarnish its image. Word is, she's got one hell of a right hook.
You the one that's been threatening Abby Goodsman?
Really? What? That bitch complained to the great magicians? Great, perfect. You know what she's up to? She's anti-regime, and she's plotting against abundance. True fucking story. Your little friend's a traitor-mancer. Too bad your powers don't include lie detection, huh? So, who cares? We put a little pressure on her, milk her a little bit before the ASC catches her. So what? She deserves it. All she needed to do was be loyal to the damn corporation that raised her. Watch your back. If someone heard about you being friendly with some of the oppositionists like that girl, let's just say it won't end well.
Alright, pretty simple. Just gotta stop the soldier so he can't make good on his threats.
At your command, Lieutenant.
Have a second to talk?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. Like, just you and me, or...?
Yeah, just you and me. I like to know my men.
Wow, that's... yeah, that'd be a huge honor, Lieutenant.
So what's your life like when you're not on duty?
Tell you the truth, Lieutenant, not much to tell. I try to visit the city, make some friends, you know, because I don't really know too many folks yet. And my whole family's back in Greenhope, which is kind of too far to travel for my leave. And, oh yeah, there's also, you know, I try to still do some hunting. Though there's not much more than small critters in the underworks. Not a great hobby for the city.
You have a good childhood?
Oh yeah, you know it, Lieutenant. Really nice growing up, running around in the fields. Father gave me a crossbow, and I spent my time helping the farmers shoot critters hurting their crops. They were good times, Lieutenant, but everybody's got to grow up and move on. There was a lot of hunters in Green Hope, too. Plus, I always dreamed of being a soldier. Mostly, though, because there was a girl back home who loved men in uniform, so... Off I went to the big city to join up. And, you know, since I was a sharpshooter, they signed me up and sent me here. Still not used to it. All the buildings, all the folks, all the concrete. But I'm happy, though.
Feels like a Green Hope souvenir stand. Kid must be missing home. Unless being messy's a crime, though. Doesn't look like he's doing anything wrong.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, can I get some intel on a couple citizens?
As long as it's mission-related, Lieutenant.
The name is Abby Goodsman.
Give me a sec. She's a trader with a small shop in the exchange quarter. No arrests, no complaints, no bookmark by the ASC. You said this was mission-related, Lieutenant?
Of course, Captain. Just following up on some leads. What do you know about a soldier named Sam Ward?
Not a lot. The little I know is nothing good. Mostly about the company he keeps, like Vori. Not enough to arrest him, but enough to be glad he's not one of my problems. Word to the wise, which I hope you are. Stay away from him unless you're looking for the kind of trouble you can't dig your way out of.
Of course, Captain. Have a moment, Captain?
Depends what you need it for.
Just want to get to know you better, Captain.
I don't usually mix business and pleasure, Lieutenant, but ask away and we'll see which questions I feel like answering.
What do you think of us?
Honestly, Lieutenant? I'm not quite sure yet. You Technomancers are new to me. Undoubtedly special, and capable of feats my other units couldn't dream of accomplishing, but time will tell. That said, I've been quite impressed. I thought it was the definition of insanity to send you and so few of your men on some of those missions. Missions I would have anticipated needing 10 times the manpower for. So far, you've proven me wrong. A rare feat in itself. So even though it's taking some time getting used to, I couldn't be happier you're one of my troops.
You from Ophir?
Born and raised. Father was an officer. Mother was a quartermaster. And I've rarely ventured outside the walls but for a few scattered missions. Sound familiar, Lieutenant?
Very familiar, Captain. Except my parents weren't officers.
Which makes your rise even more noble, Lieutenant.
How was your rise to captain earned?
Over time. But by no special action by me. Graduated as a corporal, and thanks to the brave men underneath me, their success in missions became mine in rank. No heroic feats to dazzle you with in stories. Just a lot of time and dedication that I'm proud of just the same.
Can I ask about your relationship with ASC?
Tread carefully, Lieutenant. One might start to wonder the purpose of your questions. But here's my answer. We're all forced to work with them, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Too much power too quickly leads to arrogance. They're brash and too quick to act. And quite frankly, as they've risen in power, it's no coincidence that the dissenters, deviants, and rebels have risen in numbers. They're a great source of intel, however they get it. I sleep better at night not knowing the means. But I've always thought the army was strength enough, that the ASC was overkill. I trust you won't repeat anything I've said, Lieutenant. I'd hate for both of us to find ourselves enemies of the state over a little frank conversation.
My lips are sealed, Captain, and I appreciate your candor and trust, more than you know. What's the word on David?
David Ward's a good soldier. Great track record. But he's grown bitter for some reason. I don't think he's one to do anything stupid like go AWOL, but I just hope he gets back on track in your unit. Get the sand out of his eyes. Just keep an eye on him.
What about Jeffrey?
Jeff Hunter's a little shot of adrenaline from Greenhope. Good soldier. Young and brash and annoyingly childish at times. But I'd rather have a unit of brave idiots than an army of brilliant cowards.
Lieutenant?
I want to know my men better. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, great. Show and tell. Yay.
What do you do when you're off duty?
Nothing special. See my folks, I guess. They ain't getting any younger, so... And I give most of my paycheck to them, because I'm the only one they got left. Sister died. And I ain't married, so... When I ain't with them, I'm at the bar. Drowning the shitstorm that my life's become. Not exactly a picture-perfect life, but it's mine. And hell, I get paid enough to help them out and buy my own drinks, so... What's there to complain about?
What do you think about Jeffrey Hunter?
He's a village idiot who thinks he can brown-nose his way to a promotion. Fucking reject. And no, he ain't my friend, if you haven't pieced that together.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Seems you'd rather be that way anyway. Everything's clean in here. It's just like the captain's work. Nothing that implies she's working with the ASC. I can't open it without a code.
At your command, Lieutenant.
How do you like Dave? You guys get along?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, he's not always the happiest guy in the world, but it's probably because he didn't have an easy life. He's always talking about how his life was nothing before 126 and joining the army, and that his family's all he's got. He's kind of bitter, but he's probably got a right to be. I always cheer him up, though, hoping he'll loosen up over time.
This must be a pic of his parents. And his damn notes. Bastard's got my whole schedule in here. And the names of every single person we saw together. Must have been Dave keeping tabs on me the whole time. Never would have believed it. I guess if you could spot them, though, they wouldn't be so damn powerful.
Lieutenant?
I know you're a drinking man, so what do you say we go grab one together?
Looks like it's my lucky day. Sure, why the hell not? Lead the way. So why don't you cut the bull and tell me why we're really here?
Sure.
You've been spying on me, Dave, and reporting everything back to Victor. I don't like rats. That's not all right with me.
And what? You think I ever had a choice in the matter? Think I had the option to say no?
I don't care. All I know is they got all the intel they wanted on me from one of my own soldiers, and I don't know why. What's your angle, Dave? You bitter you got Amelia as your lieutenant? I thought we were past all that. What'd they promise you? Promotion? Better pay?
Nothing but a promise they wouldn't hurt my parents. Is that a good enough reason? I don't like the ASC. Don't like what they're doing to Abundance. Don't like what they're doing to me. I don't like the deal they offered, and I don't like I didn't have a choice but to accept it. I ain't got no one but my folks since my sister died. Not that I expect you to shed a tear for me, but if I gotta choose between them and you, sorry, brother. You're on the losing end of that. If it helps, though, I don't think you're the full prick you were before we had this little chat. In fact, I might even have liked you in another time and place. But you're in deep shit now. And it's shit I don't want to get pulled into with you.
I don't want your blood on my hands, David, but I can't let you keep doing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna tell you to get the hell out of Ophir and don't look back.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Bye, Lieutenant.
Hey there.
Hey, they're back. What can I do you for?
What do you know about the ASC?
Enough to pledge my heart and mind and soul to him right now, because I ain't got no idea that you ain't ASC yourself.
Don't worry, I'm not.
But my life's worth more than your words. Sorry, fella.
You know much about the Vori?
Enough to say that even a guy like you should stay the hell out of their business. Ain't much crime goes down in abundance that don't go through them first. Some even say they're set up in the other corps too. Politicians may make the rules, but the Vori, they make the laws that run these streets. Mean bunch of dogs. Spill blood like bad beer. You scratch them, they'll kill you, and maybe your family too, just to make a point.
What do you know about Anton Rogue?
Rumor is, you say his name 3 times and he'll appear. Sure, that ain't true, but I sure ain't gonna try it. One bad dude. Story goes he enlisted in the army young, real young, had a hunger to kill, and when he'd finally filled his belly, he faked an injury on the front and got sent back to the main offices. Part of his plan, or so they say. Was there he got smart, learned to walk the walk, talk the talk, learned all the sensitive info he could get his hands on, then left the army and returned to his roots. Took him less than 5 years from there to snake and charm and stab his way to the top. It's been years now. Since then, he's been ruling over everyone with unmatched cruelty, even though he may seem charming. Honestly, I'd rather not have to deal with him in person.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope?
Unfortunately, I've received confirmation of what Veronica suspected. Charles was arrested and deported to a camp as a punishment for his comments. I'm sorry, Scott. I did bring back his research, though, since you wanted it.
Thank you, Zachariah. A camp? How awful. But what is happening to our dear abundance? We won't beat Aurora if we get rid of our scientists. Anyway, I'll take a look at these documents. No doubt our dear Charles was worried. They're coded. It's funny, it reminds me of the code we used as students, so that the professors wouldn't know about our adventures. All this is a little far away. I'm gonna have to think about it. Thank you, Zach. Thanks again.
How long have you known Amelia?
Since she was a kid. She was quite a cute child, yet so agitated. She's actually no different. She is still agitated and doesn't realize the risks she takes. Mark was more cautious. I really hope that she'll become more careful. I would be very sad if something happened to her. Sometimes I have the feeling that she thinks I'm a tiresome old man. It would be a problem. I mean, I'm not that annoying, am I?
Tell me more about your friend, Mark Reacher.
I don't really like to stir up old memories about him. His disappearance. I miss him, you know. He really was a very good friend. We met when we were young. I was researching animal mutations. But, of course, I didn't have a specimen in town. My professor introduced me to a young Mark Reacher who had a promising future. He took me hunting. It was amazing. There were so many things to discover out there. It was the first time that I went out, whereas Mark had already been exploring the canyons with his mother since his early years. The shock was enormous. I wanted to get out of the rover all the time and run after a beast or collect a plant specimen. Mark would obviously prevent me from doing so. It was funny. He was an adventurer, but he was, in the end, more reasonable than the naive scientist that I was. And it remained like that until he went missing. Alas.
Know what I feel like doing? Paying a visit to that pretty Abby girl. Yeah. Chick didn't learn her lesson after we tore down her shop. Maybe we could teach her a lesson in some other ways.
Sick. You're sick. But it's a sick I wouldn't mind catching, yeah? Why not? Damn pretty girl. I'll grab Chris and we'll make it a party.
Nice. Sounds good. Hey, shut up. I hear something.
All right. Pretty simple. Just gotta stop the soldier so he can't make good on his threats.
Whoever these soldiers are, we gotta save Miss Goodsman before they hurt her.
Well, that's what we're here for, Jeff. Saving ladies in distress. Real hero stuff. And then we also get to kick the shit out of the assholes disgracing our uniforms.
Hey, stop it! Soldiers, cut it out!
Who the hell do you think you are? Trying to give me orders, Mancer? I don't report to you, and you don't have a damn clue what's going on here. We'll take what we're owed from the Broad and leave it for Jet if we want. We clear? Or did we misunderstand and you just want to join us in the beatdown?
How do I thank you for everything you've done for me? I don't... If there is anything I can ever do for you, please tell me. Thank you.
Hey, Nisha.
Well, well, day's looking up already.
I took care of your friend's problem. The soldiers won't be bothering Abby anymore. It's a promise.
Thank you. That's really nice of you to help two ladies needing a hand. You're a real sweetheart. Really hope I can repay you in the future. I'll never forget what you did.
I gotta go.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you again soon. Be careful. Would hate to lose a guy like you around here.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I found the mole. David Ward was running lines for the ASC.
In these times, spies are everywhere. They used to be like rats, but now bear more resemblance to cockroaches. Should you see one, you can be certain 100 more reside in the walls, each placed there while their arms were twisted by the ASC. So, what happened with this Ward?
I couldn't find it in myself to kill him, so I released him and let him run, like a rat. I would assume he's still running, and we'll never see him in Ophir again.
The full blame cannot be cast on him. There are few who the ASC cannot bend to their will. We'll cross our fingers. Hopefully this soldier is gone for good and does not find himself arrested before he should escape.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
What about?
We're looking for a scientist who disappeared. Name's Charles Seeker. All I found is some of his research. Seems he was studying technomancers before getting arrested and sent to a camp.
Charles Seeker? Yes, the geneticist. Geneticists pose a risk. Scientific discoveries are always threatening to expose our secrets. Your friend Scott even worked on the same research years ago. Never found out what Scott did or didn't discover, though. He ended up drinking himself into irrelevance. So I stopped worrying. Whatever research you found, make sure no one sees it. Could be our downfall.
How are you, Zachariah?
I'm fine. And you?
Good. How may I be of service?
What are your thoughts on the ASC?
Were I a younger man, I might play it safe. Say I know nothing of them, that they protect us. But age exhausts the desire to continue down such a path. The ASC is a disease that is destroying abundance for the vanity of a single man, Colonel Victor. They're not just our enemies as technomancers. They are also our enemies as citizens of abundance and inhabitants of Ophir. They strangle the freedom of the people under the weight of their own paranoia. To them, everyone is guilty of something. Their sustenance is hatred and fear. And, I fear, a clash with them will one day test our survival.